Welcome to DRSN. My name is Chris Murphy here at Digital Racing Sports Network, bringing you flag-to-flag coverage of the Western Racing League Cup Series here at Sonoma Raceway from the rolling hills of California wine country, one of the most technical road courses in American motorsports. Welcome to Sonoma. So we got a field of about 8 cars here tonight. If you were with us Tuesday night for the opening night of the Western Racing League Truck Series, we had a fantastic show, 30 plus trucks at Daytona. As we're getting into qualifying here at Sonoma, that we're watching Brady Zeller. He's made his laps out on the racetrack, and he's going to finish off his lap by wagging his trunk at us there for a little bit. But he's going to come across the lot at 190, so we're going to pull up our leaderboard here real quick. Right now, this is qualifying going on. It is Bryce Dickman currently on the pole with a 117.672. Jason Tamer about a second back right now. So Tamer was actually fastest in qualifying, but it's Dickman right now taking the provisional pole. Brian Fackler out here right now, so short field of cars here tonight for the Cup Series. We have 8 cars here with us this evening, but I don't expect that is going to give us any lack of excitement. So a lot of fun here at Sonoma, a lot of elevation changes here. It's just a really technical racetrack, a lot of opportunities to pass. You got some, it's about 2 miles in length roughly, so if you haven't been to Sonoma out here in this part of the country, it is a beautiful place to see. So it looks like we're getting everybody just about out there with their laps. It looks like maybe Tyler Brewer in the Nexus Design number 40 is going to make his lap. So we've got roughly, it looks like about 4 minutes left here in qualifying. So we're going to ride along here with Tyler as he makes his way around the racetrack. Up here to turn number 4. Hard right-hand corner. Going to be you can see a lot of passing opportunities right there into turn number 4. And once again, right here into turn number 7. Is that 7? How do we go from 4 to 7? 7A is what my map says. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Through the S's right here, we're watching Tyler. You'll see kind of lap. He was about mid-pack there in practice. We'll see how he does here in qualifying. He is our last car to make it out on the qualifying. So appreciate you being here with us. I see we got a few people out there watching. I know a lot of our regulars here for the Cup Series are actually in Daytona this week for the 500, so they were down there tonight enjoying the duels. If you watch those pretty exciting races there at Daytona. So as Tyler's finishing up his lap, went around through turn number 11 through 12 right here. He's going to come across the line. Let's see what Tyler can put up. I guess that might have been his outlap. Got me all excited for nothing. We also have Brady Zeller back out on the racetrack as well, so he's only got 1 lap, and he's going to try to get his second lap. But right now, it is Bryce Dickman, Jason Tamer, Cameron Keel, Andrew Griesbaum. So we're watching Brady take his lap out here. We will go ahead. And let's see here. All right. I hate to have to do this while we're qualifying here, but I need to fix the audio. We don't have any sound right now. So that should fix the car audio at least. All right. So while Brady's making his lap, as I started to say before we needed to fix that, we'll take a look here at the point standings right now. So it's Justin Krasinski, who is not here this evening, leading the points. Andrew Griesbaum, who is here. So I would expect Andrew to leave here at Sonoma with the point lead just about no matter where he finishes. Bryce Dickman. I guess it could come down to Bryce or Andrew. But Bryce in the 3rd spot. Jason Tamer back there in 4th. Nico Cipollini also not here with us in the 5th spot right now in the point standing. Tyler Brewer, Brady Zeller, J.D. Biddle. J.D. won our last Cup race at Bristol. Joshua Wise, Andrew Bowman, Robert Messler, Brian Fackler, Paul Boomershine, Ryan Thompson, Michael Boyd, Petru Smetana, and Dalton Carter and Cameron Keel round out our top 20. Take a look here at the remaining schedule for the WRL Cup Series. At Sonoma tonight, back to Darlington. Then we go to Darlington next Thursday night. Daytona on the 26th. Kansas on March 5th. Nashville and Auto Club's going to round out the regular season. And we get into the playoffs. We head off to Texas, New Hampshire, and Watkins Glen. So we're going to end with our second road course of the season on the finale We'll also take a look here at qualifying's wrapping up, or we got about 30 seconds. But we can take a look at our standings here. You can see Bryce Dickman on the pole, Tamer second, Keel, Greasebaum. And it looks like we still have maybe Tyler Brewer trying to get a lap in here. He did come across in 6th. Messler did not put a lap in at all, so we only have 7 of the 8 putting in any qualifying laps at this moment. So Brewer's going to come back across the line. I don't think he's really happy with that lap. He kind of scrubbed it off, but he actually did. He did improve his time, but still going to stay in his 6th spot. So he's about 3 seconds off of the Zeller right there in front of him in 5th. So Brewer now going to fall back to 6th. All right, that's going to wrap up qualifying. So we got a couple minutes here while we're getting ready here. Cars getting gridded up. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for DRSN. Next, we actually apologize too if you were here to watch that Variety Pack Racing Daytona race earlier at 9 p.m. Eastern. That got canceled. They had a kind of a low turnout, and so they decided to cancel that race. So we ended up here at Western Racing League at 11 Eastern, which you're at right now. Then next Tuesday night, we come back on the 17th. Western Racing League Craftsman Truck, second race of that series at Echo Park. On the 19th, that Thursday night, we come one more time, come back here with the Cup Series at Darlington. And then also February 19th, the Variety Pack was going to do a recruitment race that night. I don't know if they're going to do a race or just the wheel spin. So we'll talk a little bit that as the night goes on. But on the 21st of February, we're going to be covering the VPR 500, so the Daytona 500 race for Variety Pack Racing. So if you want to get in and run a Daytona 500 this year, that is your opportunity. It's one of your opportunities. There's a lot of them out there. So let's take a look at our starting grid as we roll off the line. It's going to be the number 30 of Bryce Dickman on the pole. Outside of him, in that nice and shiny number 81, that's Jason Tamer. Back in the second row, number 26 of Cameron Keel. Outside of him, in that Nesquik sponsored number 78, Andrew Greasebaum. Back to the third row, it is the number 18. Carrying the DRSN logo for us out there is Brady Zeller. Outside of him, it is a Nexus Designs number 40 of Tyler Brewer. We get back to the last row. It's in the 7th spot here, the number 45 of Brian Fackler and the 93 of Robert Messler. So Robert didn't turn in a time, so he's going to tag the field here. So 12 turns here at, well, like I said, my map's a little weird. It goes from turn 4 to turn number 7, so that's what I'm going to go with. But 12 turns here at Sonoma. Watched a lot of races over the years at Sonoma. I remember, heck, I don't know. I don't want to show my age again, but I can remember watching Petty and Allison and all those guys were running around here back in the late 70s and 80s. So a lot of action here. And the one thing with this Gen 4 Cup cars that are running here in this series, a lot of body roll. You're going to see these cars really rolling around out here. These are not near as agile as the current next gen cars. We're going to see how these guys can. These drive a little bit more like a tank. Not quite as bad as the 87 Cup cars in that we have in iRacing, but these aren't too far from it, to be honest. All right, so we're going to roll down here through turn number 11. It's going to be Dickman and Tamer bringing us to the line. Appreciate you being here with us. We see a few people out there. If you're one of the regulars that's down there in Daytona, I don't know why you'd be watching this instead of down there doing something on the beach. But if you are, chime in the chat there. Going to roll around here through this last hairpin. Roll up to the starting line. 40-lap race here at Sonoma. 8 cars, and it's going to be Dickman getting a good jump here on Tamer. Dickman's going to lead us to the line and up into turn number 1. Up the hill into 2 and 3. I like this uphill climb right here. As we jump on the roof cam there with Bryce Dickman, the number 30, leading this race right now. Behind him in the 51, it is Jason Tamer. We're kind of single filed out already. We'll see if Tamer has anything for Dickman. Right now, Dickman with already almost a full second advantage. on Tamer as he heads his way up into turn number 7. It's hard right-hand corner. It's all about breaking points right here. Can you get in the corner? In 40 laps, it's going to be about tire management too. So who can keep the tires underneath themselves here is going to be a big key. As we can already see some separation throughout the field. We see Tyler Brewer in 6th. Fackler and Messler kind of straggling back there behind in the 7th and 8th position. But right now, it is all about Bryce Dickman leading this race. Tamer's kind of hanging on back there. Cameron Keel also doing a really good job so far. A little bit of locking up the tires there for Tamer coming through 11. That's going to cost him a little bit of time on the back of Dickman. And actually Keel closed in a little bit. We're also going to look at the 78 of Greasebomb as he's working his way back up on Cameron Keel. So we're at lap number 1 is in the books, and it's Bryce Dickman bringing us to the line. So Dickman, Tamer, Keel, Greasebomb, your top 4. So it looks like Tamer's actually closing up on the back of Dickman right now. He is not letting go. Our top six still within sight of each other as we look back here to Tyler Brewer in the 6th position. Messler is now falling back quite a way. Fackler as well. So we can see who our road course experts are here in the Western Racing League. And right now, it is Dickman and Tamer. Look at some of our sponsors. Corbin Matthews, country artist, got a new song coming out in about 45 minutes, actually, midnight on the East Coast. If you like some good country music, check out Corbin Matthews. Western Racing League also brought to you by Viking Construction Group. Both the Truck Series fully sponsored by Viking Construction Group, also the Cup Series. And it's Nexus Designs. If you're looking for a clean ride out there, look up Nexus Designs on Instagram. Take a look back here. Messler and I went in. Fackler's still having his struggles. He's now falling back a little bit farther off this group. But right now, it is Bryce Dickman out in front. Tamer, Keel, and Greasebomb. And 2nd, 3rd, and 4th close enough. If Tamer makes a little bit of a mistake, we're gonna see Keel all over the back of him as we come down through the S's section through 8 and 9. Back down the hill, back to turn number 10. And then that famous hairpin down here at turn number 11. Looks like Messler had a little bit of an off track. We'll see if we can see what happened there to Messler. Like he just got wide getting in the corner there. A little anticlimactic there, but get back up to the front of the pack. Check on our leader here one more time. Bryce Dickman, as he comes around the corner, comes up into turn number 1. 3 laps in the books. 37 to go. Back up the hill. So many elevation changes here at Sonoma. Appreciate y'all being here with us tonight for the Western Racing League. I need to bring the tower up, don't I? There we go. All right, so back into 7. We're going to get back down the hill, back to the S's one more time. Bryce Dickman. Closest battle we have on the racetrack right now is for 3rd and 4th, and that's Cameron Keel and Andrew Greasebomb. I'm sure we're going to have to make at least one pit stop, so we're going to see who tries to short pit, who's going to pit early. That is going to be the strategy. We are strung out all over the racetrack here, just single filed out. A lot different than what the excitement we saw at Daytona Tuesday night. If you did not catch that race, go back and catch the replay on that Tuesday night Western Racing opening night at Daytona. Was just a fantastic race. We had a few early cautions in the race, but in the end, 4 cars down to the finish, and I'm stalling because I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was actually Jason Tamer. Jason Tamer took home the win in that race. I was trying to remember That's what happens when you get old. You have to takes a little minute to process something. So Tamer came home with a win Tuesday night in the Truck Series, but he right now, Dickman looks to have his number is about 2.5 seconds now between first and second, as Dickman's still pulling away. It looks like we have Robert Messler went off the track one more time. He is going to make a pit stop here. Let's see if we can see what happened here. This is that same replay we had earlier. We did have incident here with Zeller going off the racetrack. Actually not what I tried to click on there. There we go. So Zeller off the racetrack right here at some point. Keep an eye on the number 18 DRSN sponsored Chevrolet by Brady Zeller. Not sure where he went. Oh, there he is. He went off the track. I got to turn my rewind down time a little bit, I guess, because he went off. Took about 10 seconds to get to where he finally went off the racetrack. So Zeller back there in 5th. He's got Tyler Brewer in the 6th place right there in the number 40 trying to reel him in. If we get back to live time, check out our leader, Bryce Dickman. Still now, he's actually stretching that lead out. He's now over 3 seconds. It's about 3 seconds from the number 30 back to the 2nd place running, Jason Tamer. Thanks for being here with us at Digital Racing Sports Network. Our next race is going to be back here with the Western Racing League. It'll be the Truck Series next Tuesday night at 11 Eastern at Echo Park Atlanta Speedway, as I used to call it. And it looks like Messler may have retired. He's pulled down to the pits. He's been sitting there for quite a while now, unless he had some really heavy damage. He's now been in the pits for just about over a minute. So we'll see what happens there with Robert Messler. Cameron Keel back there in 3rd. We've got about 2 to 3 seconds separating about every position on the racetrack. Brewer is starting to catch the back of the 18 of Zeller for that 5th position. So Brewer right now trying to find his way into the top 5. And it actually looks like everybody is in the position they started in right now. Nobody has gained or lost any positions on the racetrack, as we have 6 laps complete of the 40, 34 to go. Brewer now going to put some pressure here on the back of Brady Zeller in the number 18. Let's see if Brady can hold up to the pressure right now. You can just see how much body roll these Gen 4 cars have here up into these tight corners here at Sonoma. You can see right here from the roof cam of Tyler Brewer looking forward to Zeller. And up in front of him is the 78 of Greasebomb. It is all Bryce Dickman right there. You can see positions gained on our leaderboard. Everybody exactly where they started. So qualifying looks like it was pretty key here at Sonoma. Looks like Robert Messler's going to make his way out of pits after being on the pit road for about 54 seconds. Took on some repairs, and he is now finding himself almost a lap down. You can see Bryce Dickman, our leader, coming up on the back of our Angels Camp, California driver. Where is Angels Camp? Is that close to Sonoma? Is this like a home race? Looks like we might have a 3-car battle shaping up for the 4th spot. Zeller and Brewer are gaining on the back of the 78 of Greasebomb. Can they make up any ground here? If you're new to DRSN, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Appreciate you being here. We're covering some different races all throughout the season. We're going to be here, like we said, next Tuesday night with the Western Racing League Truck Series. Oh, Zeller in hard, caught that curb. Went a little bit wide right there, but Brewer not able to take it. Brewer going to look to the inside. No, he is going to tuck in behind him. Heading down through the S's section. Can Brewer keep up some this momentum? They'll see if he can maybe outbreak Brady getting down into turn number 11. That's going to be really the next passing opportunity unless Zeller makes a mistake. So the next is design sponsor number 40 of Tyler Brewer. And he's actually going to lose a lot of ground. So Zeller was a lot better through the S's section right there. Oh, Tyler, going to lock up getting into 11 right there. Tried to drive it in deep and got in a little too deep. Locks up the tires. Hopefully he didn't flat spot him. We'll jump up here to Zeller. Zeller actually making up some ground on the 78 at Grease Bomb. Does he have anything for him? So 18 car looking really good out there so far. He's going to see if he can make up a spot. Dickman now, you can see, I think I saw Messler right there on the racetrack. Messler going to go really wide out of the way. So the 93 of Messler really struggling out here today. He is going to move over the way and let Dickman go by. And it's about 5 seconds now back to the 81 of Tamer. We'll keep an eye right now on our leader. Go back to the battle here with Zeller. Zeller is starting to reel in Grease Bomb. That gap right now is about 1.7 seconds. Oh, back to, loose right there. Zeller gets a little loose off the corner, loses it, spins it around. He's going to have a nice save right here. Lucky did not make any contact with the tire barrier. We are going to see, so we can see what happened there. It just looked like he got it loose off the corner. And you can see him losing it right there. Does a nice job of catching the car and not letting it hit the tire barrier. But that is going to cost him a spot as the 40 of Brewer is going to get by. So Zeller is going to get himself collected right there. As my buddy Alex Goldsmith would say, that would be a Code Brown situation. But Zeller getting it back together, going to get moved back to the front here. So that moves Tyler Brewer up a spot up to the 5th position. That looks like Zeller thought, he had a good chance there to catch Grease Bomb. He was trying his best to reel him in, just pushed a little bit too hard right there and cost himself a spot. And a lot of ground. He's now falling back over 8 seconds back behind the number 40 of Brewer. So we've now put a Faulkner and Messler now both down a lap. Here comes the 26 of Keel's going to put Faulkner down a lap. And right there in front of him is going to be the 93 of Robert Messler. Faulkner might have had an incident here. We're going to see if we can catch a replay of it. Vancouver, Washington driver just up the road from me. I should go wave hi to Bo Bryan here. So let's see what happens. I think he's going to have a problem down here getting to turn number 11. And he just gets in a little too deep and can't get the car wound up. And he's going to make any contact with the outside tire. He is going to make some contact with that tire barrier. So he is going to have a little left front damage. So Brian Faulkner just getting into that hairpin is just, you get braking points. It's got to be just right to get into that hairpin. And Faulkner just in a little too deep, locked up the tires. And once you lock up the tires, you don't have much control. And he just slid right into the tire barrier. And you can see he wasn't that far away from our leader, Brian Dickman, at the time. Or Bryce Dickman, sorry. So Dickman's still out in front. It is now about 7 seconds back to the 2nd place. The number 81 of Jason Tamer. Cameron Keel in 3rd. Still hanging on right there. And actually Grease Bomb right here now is reeling in that number 26 for that 3rd position, trying to get himself up on the podium. So Grease Bomb is going to lead this race tonight with the point lead one way or the other. The further up the field he can get, the more points he can put on Justin Krasinski. About a quarter way through this race, 10 laps in, 30 to go. It's Dickman, Tamer, Keel, Grease Bomb, your top 4. And that's a little ways back to the 40 of Brewer. And Zeller still trying to gain his composure after that spin. It's still about 8 seconds back to Brewer. So that is our 6 cars on the lead lap out of the 8 cars on the racetrack. Take one more time look at the number 30 of Bryce Dickman. Sonoma seems to be to his liking. See, come around turn number 7, starts to head back down the hill through this little S's section, the little rhythm section here here at Sonoma. If you haven't had a chance to race at Sonoma and you got to race and get on there, this is just a fun track to get out there and make some test laps. This is a fun track. There's a lot of rhythm. It's all about It's all about just keeping up your pace, your momentum through that section up there. And then when you carry that speed down the hill in the turn number 11, it's just hitting this braking point. You can see Dickman right here. He has looked really good through this section of the racetrack, and I think that's really where he's gained a lot of advantage. We've seen some of the other drivers make some mistakes right here, but Dickman just really smooth through that hairpin at turn number 11. And then come across the line here to complete lap number 12. And then back up the hill one more time. 28 laps left to go. Looks like Brian Faulkner may have had another incident. Well, look at this here in live time, or excuse me, in full speed here with our Vancouver, Washington driver, our sideways Santa Claus as we call him. Did he make the same? Is this the same? Am I watching the same thing? Or no, that's deja vu for Brian Faulkner. Just gets into that corner a little too deep one more time. So you got to pick your point there, Brian. Pick your braking point if you're out there listening to me. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about coming up on the 20th and 21st here. I should have had a graphic up here for it, but I didn't put one together. It's going to be the Variety Pack 500. If you're interested in running one of the Daytona 500 races that goes on, there's so many of them going on in iRacing during this couple of weeks here that the real 500 is running. But the Variety Pack 500 will run on the 20th and 21st. On the night of the day of the 20th from about, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is open qualifying. So if you signed up for the race, you have that period of time to get out and qualify, get your qualifying lap. The top 86 drivers to qualify, and I think there's about 90 signed up right now, last I saw. So we may have a few drivers going on, but the top 86 are going to find their way into the duels on Saturday morning on the 21st, about 10 a.m. Eastern time on the 21st. We'll run two dual races, and then we'll come back that afternoon and run the 500. So if you're looking for a 500-mile race to run 200 laps at Daytona, look no farther than the Variety Pack Racing. You can reach out to us if you're looking for an invite to the Discord. It's been all over the Facebook groups. If you're in any of the iRacing Facebook groups, it's been all over that. So, but now it is almost a 10-second lead for Bryce. Actually, as I say that, it is over 10 seconds, 10.5 seconds back to Jason Tamer. So Dickman stretching this out. Tamer was the fastest car in practice. And it looks like one more time I hate to keep doing this to you, Brian, but it keeps coming up on my event feed. So we're going to take another look here to see what Brian's just not his day here at Sonoma. Up the hill through turns 2 and 3 right here. And he is just going to miss the corner, gets in there, catches that inside curb. And he's going to try to get back on the racetrack, just about spins it around. So Brian is finding this race one he wants to forget at the moment, but he's out there making some laps. You got to give him credit for sticking around out there. I've seen guys that struggle like that would just absolutely quit. So kudos to Brian for staying out there and trying to learn this racetrack. But as we're looking at all this other stuff that's going on, look at this. We got a battle for a third. Greasebomb is now worked up on the back of the 26 at Keel. So Andrew Greasebomb has been shrinking that gap down to the 26. Looks like he's a little better on tires right here. As we start to head down the hill to 78, can he make up enough ground on the 26? Actually, Keel gets off that corner a lot better. He actually puts a little about another car length between him. Can Greasebomb get close enough to try to dive into turn number 11? Doesn't look like he's going to be there quite yet, but he is making up some ground. Looks like Keel got a little bit loose right there off the corner. And it looks like Greasebomb's a little too far back to make a late dive. Keel gets into the corner smoothly. They're going to come off that hairpin, come up to turn number 12, going to come across the line. 15 laps down, 25 to go. But Andrew Greasebomb starting to find his rhythm. And it is wide a ways back to about 8 seconds back to Brewer and another 8 seconds back to Zeller. So we're going to keep an eye on this battle right here between the 26 and the 78. Andrew seems to be showing overall better pace than Keel. I think he just needs to get by him here quickly if he's going to have any chance to reel in Tamer, and at least for that second spot. I think Bryce Dickman's just way too far in front for anybody right now unless he makes a mistake. But he is looking pretty smooth out there. Gets a little loose right there off the corner. But Dickman looking really good out there, really smooth here. One more time, we will take a look here at this battle for third. Keel and Greasebomb head up into turn number 11, the hairpin one more time. You can see Tamer, actually, they're both closing on the back of Tamer here a little bit. It's only about a 2-second gap. So it's possible we could have a 3-car battle for second here shortly. But right now, Keel just doing everything he can to keep Greasebomb behind him right now to hold on to that last podium spot of third position. Appreciate you being out there with us. See, we got a few people out there on the stream. Jump into the chat, say hello, tell us who you think's going to win this race. Well, I think we know who's going to win this race at this point. It's going to be Bryce Dickman at this point. We're almost halfway through this race and over almost a 13-second advantage. So unless he falls asleep and makes a mistake, drives off the racetrack or hits a tire barrier, this is all Bryce Dickman's race to lose at this point. Jump in the car here with Greasebomb as he's trying to close up onto the back of Keel here one more time. It seems like we always switch over right here to the same point on the racetrack. And this is about the same distance he's been for about the last 3 laps, just not able to close the gap. He's got a little bit look to the inside here as Keel gets a little bit wide and then gets a little bit loose off the corner. Greasebomb's got to look to the inside, but just too far back to make a run into turn number 1. So Keel with a little bit of a mistake right there, but Greasebomb was not close enough to capitalize. Keep an eye on our leader up here. He puts another lap on Brian Fackler. So Fackler now down 2 laps in this race. I'm gonna try to Google to find out where Angels Camp, California is. Bryce Dickman to see if he's actually if this is a home race for him. Kind of close. Now that I find out where Angels Camp is, just east of Stockton, California. All right, so Messer with, it looks like Robert Messer with a little bit of an off-track adventure. It's actually Brady Zeller as well. We'll see what happened here with Brady. Catches the curb right there. One more time, Zeller using all the curbs he possibly can. He's going to get off the racetrack there, back out into the grass. So a little off-track adventure there for the 18 of Brady Zeller, but he's going to gather it back up and keep continuing forward. But he is now, it looks like about 20 seconds, actually about 6 seconds back to Brewer at this point. And as we were goofing around there, Greasebomb made his pass around Cameron Keel. We're going to go back and take a look at this. So it looks like Keel with a mistake right there loses the back of the car. Was up in smoke off into the grass, and that is going to let Greasebomb get by for the 3rd spot. Even go back and take a look at that one more time from Keel's point of view. So he catches that curb coming up the hill, and it just broke just enough to upset the car, just enough to break the back tires loose. Does a nice job of saving it off into the grass, but that did cost him the position. So Cameron was doing a really good job holding on to 3rd, holding Greasebomb back, but an unfortunate mistake right there up into turn number 4 is going to cost him that 3rd place, and now Greasebomb sets his sights on the 51 of Tamer as he's got the 45 of Fackler to contend with. Faulkner going to stay down the inside of the racetrack. I think Griesbaum's trying to decide which way Faulkner's going to go here. He's going to go by on the inside, back up the hill one more time, and he is about looking at about 4 seconds to the 51 of Tamer, so we'll see if Griesbaum can continue his pace forward. We're about halfway through, 19 laps down. Next time by is going to be the halfway mark, 20 down, 20 to go. So a few of our sponsors, once again, the VPR 500 next, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend on the 20th and 21st. Take a look at our leader, Bryce Dickman, back to the 78 at Griesbaum. We haven't given Jason Tamer a lot of screen time, so we'll jump on here with the 81, our South Florida driver, since he stays up nice and late here. It's almost midnight there for Jason down there in the sunshine state of Florida. Give him some good screen time out here on the 81. Griesbaum, let's take a look here. Look at the last laps. It looks like Tamer was about a second faster, so that lap, having to get around that lap car really held Griesbaum back. But the fastest car on the racetrack is our leader right now, with Dickman with a 1:19.190. About 4/10 back of that was Tamer. And everybody else in a 20 or 21 second. Oh, Keel loose again right there. That is not Cameron Keel's favorite corner. That is the second time now we're seeing him get loose coming off of 4. Cameron Keel in the 4 spot right now. He had ran 3rd for a long time, holding Griesbaum back, but a couple slips right there really cost him. Now let's see if he can gather himself back up. I'm sure I should have got a little inside info. I'm assuming we're going to need a pit stop here at some point in this race. I don't think they can go 40 laps on a tank of fuel, but we'll find out. It's nice when it becomes a guessing game for us to try to figure these things out when we don't have all the inside info. I guess we could get out there and run some test laps. Anybody else out there in chat knows for us, you can chime in. The 30 of Dickman here, just on cruise control. It's now 15 seconds back to Tamer. And about another 3 seconds back to the 78 of Andrew Griesbaum. And as we're questioning pit stops, right here at the halfway point, we see the 40 of Brewer and the 18 of Zeller both making their way into the pits. I'm assuming this could be let's see if they take 4 tires or not. I'm not sure. I think it's either fuel only or 4 tires. I don't see anybody taking 2. There are a lot of left-hand turns on this racetrack. I guess you could take right side only, but we'll see how that plays out. Let's see what the strategy is for Zeller and Brewer. They make their first pit stop. Our leader, Dickman's going to come around. He is going to bypass the pits here one more time. And it's going to be the 40 of Brewer getting out a lot faster than Zeller, so I thought Zeller might try to do something different, gain an advantage, but he is going to come back out in the 6th position. And you can see your leader right there behind the 40 of Brewer. So Brewer and Zeller both going to go a lap down right now during this pit stop cycle. Oh, that's a good shot. We should keep that shot going there. Number 3, just see, and you can just see how on the braking points, just how much these cars rotate around, the body roll on these things. I mean, you can just see right there as they got into that corner, just how much the nose of the car dives down into the racetrack. So you can play with the brake bias, and it's a fixed setup right now, but you can still play with the brake bias, and that's a real key here. You know, do you want to have a little more front brake, a little more rear brake? Myself, I always like a little rear brake, and that usually what gets me in trouble. So let's see if our leader is going to come into the pits here sometime shortly. It looks like we're in another lap here. So Zeller's going to, or excuse me, Dickman is going to go pretty long. Let's see what happens. Oh, jump over to Tamer. He's off the racetrack. And he is going to head down the pit. So we got Jason Tamer in the 81. It's going to one of our top 3 cars, the first of the top 3 into the pits. So Tamer down pit road for his stop. Dickman still out on the racetrack. That's going to give the 78 of Grease Bomb second for the time being. Let's see if he got some fresh air. Let's see if he can get a good in lap right here, because I'm assuming he's going to pit here pretty soon. If he can get himself a good in lap and make up some ground on Tamer while he's in the pits. Tamer's been in the pits for a little while here. That's not a very good view of the pits. There we go. So Tamer's still getting some, just now getting the tire change going there. So we're going to see what happens with Tamer. You see that 45 of Fackler making his pit stop. Tamer's now rolling out. That was a good stop for the 81. About 2 seconds better than anybody we've seen pit so far for the in and out time. About 50 seconds. And it looks like Tyler Brewer's had an incident. We're going to go over and see if we can find it. What happened to Tyler? Down into turn. Did he have the same problem that we saw Fackler have earlier? Our British Columbia driver. He's going to get down into turn number 11. Does he just lock it up? Down on the curb. Catches that. It just caught that inside wall a little bit. Tried to cut the corner a little too close. Caught the inside wall, and that actually snapped the back of the car around. That was in front of our leader. And that is also going to allow Brady Zeller to get by. So it looks like Brewer is going to have to do a 3-point turn just to get back on the racetrack. So Brewer, unfortunately, loses a lot of time. Was running a really solid fifth, but that mistake right there cost him about, it looks like about 13 seconds up the road to Brady Zeller, so that knocks Brewer back to sixth. Our leaders still, our top three still yet to pit. Dickman, Greasebomb, and one more. Dickman's actually going to go by the pits one more time. Let's see what happens with Andrews. He comes down through the last few corners through 9 and 10. Let's see if he dives down in the pit. So right now, the only one of our leaders that pitted was Tamer, and he had a great pit stop right there, getting in and out of the pits quickly in only 50 seconds. And you can see the glow. Look at the glow of that rotor on the right front as Greasebomb gets into the turn number. That was a great shot right there. You can just see how much those brakes are heating up. Cameron Keel in the 26 going to make his way down for his pit stop. 25 laps down, 15 laps to go with this 40-lap race here at Sonoma for the Western Racing League. My name's Chris Murphy with DRSN. Really appreciate you being here with us. Come back on Tuesday night for the Western Racing League Truck Series for the second race of the season. That is going to be, we expect a pretty full field there. We had close to 35 cars the other night at Daytona. I'm expecting the same, if not more, for Atlanta. Tamer has now made his way back into third as passes Keel in the pits. Keel also with a good stop, but he lost quite a bit of ground staying out there on the racetrack as long as he did. Tamer out there running a couple laps on new tires. Let's take a look at our last lap time. Tamer was the fastest car on the racetrack, but really only about a tenth of a second over our leader. So a 19.064 for Tamer, a 19.146 for Dickman. So Dickman, even though on old tires, really is not losing any pace, not near as much as some of these other drivers. We'll keep an eye on those lap times. Tamer, right now the fastest car on the racetrack on new tires. And let's just see how long Dickman stays out there on the racetrack. He did have about a 14-second lead when pit stops began. And it looks like maybe Robert Messler with another issue. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened to Robert in the 93. Just gonna miss the corner right here. Get the right out there. Oh, another hard contact with a tire barrier for Messler. And you can see the front of that car is all tore up right there in front of Tamer. Messler gonna move out of the way, let the 81 get by him there, but unfortunate for Messler. And here comes Greasebomb now, is going to put a lap on the 40 of Brewer. But our top two cars have still yet to pit. Dickman and Greasebaum have still yet to pull down into pit road. And Dickman's going to go by one more time. That last lap pass was an 18.881 for our leader. Fastest lap of the race so far was an 18.130, so he's only 7/10 of a second off his fastest lap of the race, which was ran way back, probably about lap 6 or 7 when I saw that lap. So Dickman really hasn't fallen off the pace right now. If he has tires left, he could probably finish the whole rest of this race on what he's got. If he's got enough fuel to make it, sorry. Because he's definitely doing a good job on those tires as we watch the Tamer come across the line now. And Jason Tamer on the fresh tires turned a 22.35. So it looks like we got the 26 of Keel in for a second stop. Messler in the pits as well. Fackler also in the pits once more. Not sure why Cameron needed to make a second stop unless he had... Oh, he had a black flag we didn't see. So Cameron had to come in and clear that black flag, so it must have been an incident. It must have reached the incident limit. Unfortunate there for Cameron. He was looking pretty strong early, maybe looking for a podium finish, but now he's going to fall back about 6th place now. The last car on the lead lap at this moment. We take a look here one more time at our leader. Bryce Dickman out of Angels Camp, California in the number 30 Calcart sponsored Ford. He has been dominant here all day long. Started on the pole and has not looked back from this drop of the green flag on lap 28. 12 laps left to go. Second place run in Andrew Greasebaum will be your point leader when we leave here today, unless he has some kind of a big incident. A little lock up there from Keel right there in front of Tamer. Keel is a lap down now at this point. But 81 and Jason Tamer are running in the third spot, has made his pit stop. We're still waiting for our top two drivers to make their way down pit road as Dickman's going to go around one more time. Maybe my math is wrong and they can make it all the way in fuel. I'd be surprised. I mean, if they could have made it on fuel, I'm not sure if these other drivers would have pitted, because actually, let me see, the last fastest car on the racetrack the last time out was still Bryce Dickman. If Tamer took on 4 tires, it really has not. I mean, he's right there, only about 100th of a second behind Dickman. But Greasebaum also running the low 19s right now, so the top two drivers putting down some pretty good lap times on the old tires. Nobody behind him really gaining that much of an advantage. As we see Tamer getting a little loose off the corner right there, trying to collect it. He's chasing it back and forth. Nexus Designs, you need a car painted, reach out. Find them on, I don't have their link to them. I should get a link on here somewhere. But Nexus Designs, you'll find them on Instagram. Search for them. If you're looking, you need something, some sharp livery painted for just about anything in the game, you'll find it there with Nexus Designs. They do a really good job. Viking Construction Group sponsors both the Cup Series and is the name sponsor for the Truck Series on Tuesday nights. Viking Construction, Everett, Washington construction company, does a lot of stuff in the Northwest. If you've got some work you're looking to do, I could use them right now if they weren't too far away, to be honest. But Viking Construction Group, check them out. They do a really. I've seen some of the work they did. They just did a crumble cookie. I was talking about that Tuesday night. I'm going to have to go follow them around, see if they're doing any more of those crumble cookie stores. But take a look at Brady Zeller. Has now moved his way up to 4th. Had fallen back to 6th, but a couple of incidents right there from Brewer and Keel is going to help Zeller get himself up into the top 4 right now. So we've got 30 laps down, 10 laps left to go. And Dickman has led every single lap. Greasebaum's now moved up 2 spots. He's up to 2nd after starting in 4th. The Nesquik sponsored number 78 Ford of Andrew Greasebaum. And then it's about 38 seconds from him back to Jason Tamer. Tamer did pit. Now it looks like the total pit time is about 50 seconds. what I've seen from Tamer, maybe 52 seconds from some other drivers. So if Greasebomb still has to pit, he is going to have a really good short pit stop, maybe fuel only if he needs it, if he's going to have any chance of staying ahead of Tamer. So we'll see how that plays out here. If we got 10 laps left to go. It looks like both of our leaders still going to just drive past pit road here. Coming up on the pit entrance right there on the left there. And Greasebomb's just going to go on by. So it's still Dickman. Dickman now with a 22-second lead back to the number 78 of Greasebomb. Just stretching it out. All right. Oh, and we switch over to Brady Zeller to find him nose first into the wall, into the tire barrier. You can see some damage right there, but he had quite a bit of a gap back to the 40 of Brewer. Let's see if we can see what happened to Zeller. I'm guessing he probably just on the brakes a little too hard, locked him up as he comes up the hill, up into turn number 4. And he just missed the corner, just misjudged his entry right there. Locked the brakes up, slid into that tire barrier there on the outside. Take a look at that here one more time, see if we can see it from... Take a look at the in-car view of Brady Zeller. Comes up into this right-hand corner and just... Car got a little bit loose. He kind of clerked it to the left a little bit, and they just locked it up and hard into the tire barrier. But fortunately for Brady, he had a pretty big advantage back to the 40. And you can see 78 Greasebomb going to put a lap on the 18. You can see quite a bit of damage on the nose of the DRSN sponsor, number 18. And he's going to catch the wall there once again. We're going to keep an eye. Hopefully Brady doesn't reach the incident limit like we saw earlier with Keel. But he's got about 8 laps left to go if he's going to limp that car around the racetrack. So it's Bryce Dickman, then it's about 22 seconds back to Greasebomb in the second position right now. Tamer has pitted, so he's about another 38 seconds back right now from the from Greasebomb. You can see the nose piece just dangling off of the 18 car of Zeller. That is allowing Tyler Brewer to reel him in. So Brewer now, we might have a battle here for second, but I think it's going to be pretty short-lived if Brewer can catch Zeller. I don't think it's going to last very long because Zeller looks pretty wounded out there, limping that 18 around the racetrack. You can see the nose piece just dangling off the car. On his screen, it's probably not even there anymore. All right, let's see what happens. They get down in here to turn number 11. Watch this battle here for fourth as Brewer now reeling in the 18. A heavily damaged number 18 of Brady's. You can see actually that left front, it's towed in pretty bad. That thing is crab walking pretty bad. That left front is towed in. The right front looks like it's towed out. He has got his hands full out there trying to get that car on the racetrack. You can see it. And it's going to be Brewer looking to get around Zeller. I don't think Zeller really needs to put up much of a fight right here. He knows he's wounded. There's really no chance. There's really no reason to take a chance of taking them both out of this race. So let's see what happens with Brewer. Zeller's going to put up a little bit of a fight here. Going to come off the corner a little bit wide. Tyler not able to reel him in just quite yet, but he is right there on the back bumper. We'll jump on the roof here with Tyler. We got 7 laps left to go in this race. I'm starting to guess right now that maybe they could go all the way on fuel, as Dickman and Greasebomb have stayed out on the racetrack, and as I say that, they'll probably dive in here next lap or something. That's usually what happens with me. All right, we're going to keep an eye on this battle here for 4th and 5th. And Brady's just they're going to make a little bit of contact. I thought Brady was going to turn in right there. Brady kind of opened up the inside corner there for Brewer, let him go past, and then almost turned the car down in, and he's got his hands full. He's hitting the wall again right there, so keep an eye on 18 of Zeller. Can he stay out there and finish this race right now at this point? We'll go back and take a look at that passer in slow motion. See if we can find a little bit different angles. You can see right here, Zeller just opens up that bottom. Brewer dives down in there. And as I got about partway through the corner right here, Zeller starts to turn in and just about makes contact with the back of the 40. But Brewer's able to get past. I don't really think Zeller was trying to do that intentionally, but that car is pretty damaged. Cameron Keel with an incident here in the 26. Things for Cameron Keel are going from bad to worse right now. Yeah, that black flag for I'm assuming was incident limit. We see him down here in turn number 11. It looks like the back of the car is starting to come around on him here. It just continues around, so he kind of started to lose it right there in the center of the corner, and it just kept on going around. So he is going to spin off the racetrack, and you see the 81 at Tamer going by on the outside. That's actually going to lap him, and now, as we're looking at this, we see the 78 of Griesbaum is now making his way down pit road. And we've got Tamer now. Where is he at on the racetrack? He is coming down the hill through turn number 10. And it looks like, so Andrew just now making his way into his pit stall. And here comes Tamer through 11. And it looks like Andrew Griesbaum went fuel only. He is going to make his way out back onto the racetrack, back in second, ahead of Jason Tamer. Let's see if we can get a distance here. About an 8-second gap, so a good strategy there from Andrew Griesbaum. Came in, took on fuel only, and he is going to hold on to second right there. So that was about the only chance he had. If he'd have taken tires, Tamer would have got past him. So let's see how this plays out. We got 5 laps left to go. Let's see if we can look at last lap time. So we'll have to get another lap in here and see how they're doing. But right now, the fastest car on the track is the 81 at Tamer. Ran a 19:043. Our leader, Bryce Dickman, was down at a 25:28. So Bryce Dickman now with a 50-second lead back to the 78, and Bryce has not pitted yet with 4 laps left to go. Did he save enough fuel somewhere? I don't know. We'll see what he does here. I think Bryce has got to come in here at some point. Everybody else is pitted. We jump on here with Tamer. Tamer now about 7 seconds back of Griesbaum. Keep an eye on their last. As soon as they get past here, make a lap. We'll see what their times are. This Andrew's going to come across the line right now. It's probably going to be. He actually just made his way out of the pit, so it's not really going to be a good judge yet at this point. We're going to have to get at least one more lap in to see what their paces are. Tamer's going to go by, and he's going to turn in a 19:572, so still the fastest car on the racetrack. But it is still over 7 seconds between the second place running 78 of Andrew Griesbaum and the 81 of Tamer. But about 50 seconds up the road is Bryce Dickman. 3 laps left to go as he comes across the line, 37 laps down here at Sonoma. Bryce has just been the class of the field all day long. This has been his race. As I said earlier, if you weren't here, a bunch of our regular drivers here with the Western Racing League Cup Series are actually spending some time down at Daytona this week watching the 500. I'm not sure if any of those drivers are live on the channel right now. If they are, chime in for us. It'd be nice to see where you guys are at. I don't know why you would be here. Like I said earlier, I don't know why you'd be here instead of somewhere on the beach in Daytona, but alright, so it looks like, let's see if Bryce comes down to pit here with about 2 laps left to go. Does he have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way? I wish I could see some stats from inside the car. Alright, now that we've got some lap times in, Griesbaum, who just pitted for fuel. Tamer pitted for 4 tires a little bit earlier. Griesbaum is only about a tenth and a half slower than Tamer right now, so it's almost 7 seconds back between second and third with only a couple laps left to go. Andrew Griesbaum's going to have to make some kind of a mistake if Tamer is going to catch him for that second spot. One more time we jump on here with the 30 number 30 of Bryce Dickman. Right now, your current running order: Bryce Dickman, Andrew Griesbaum, Jason Tamer, Tyler Brewer now up in fourth. Brady Zeller still limping that number 18 around. You can see the nose piece dangling off the front of that car. Left front towed in. He's, I'm not sure how he's getting around out there right now, but you can see just how difficult it is to get that, with that left front towed in that bad. It is going to be a challenge, especially to make any left-hand turns. Cameron Keel back there in the 6th spot after getting a black flag earlier and then losing the car through 11 a couple of laps ago. Cameron Keel's falling back to 6th after starting this race in 3rd. And then Robert Messler and Brian Faulkner have just had all kinds of issues today. Faulkner here with another incident. We're going to take a look real quick. They're actually racing together, Messler and Faulkner. But Brian, our sideways, I'm not sure how that happened right there, but just lost the car between turn 11 and 12. Ends up in the infield of the racetrack. And Bryce Dickman decides to come in and take on some fuel as he would cross the line right here with only about one. I think it's going to be the last lap. So 2 laps left to go. Let's see what happens when he crosses the line right here. He's actually going to cross the start-finish line. 1 lap left to go. He's going to get the white flag in the pits. So went as long as he possibly could on fuel. So our leader, Bryce Dickman's going to come here and get a little splash to go on the last lap. Just took a little bit of fuel. He just got to get around one more time. It's still 50 seconds back to Griesbaum, so didn't take a chance to take on some tires or anything. Our California driver, Bryce Dickman, into the 30 still. Even that short pit stop is still about at 36 seconds back now to Andrew Griesbaum in 2nd. We are on our last lap here at Sonoma. Bryce Dickman in the Cal Kart spot. Oh, look, this actually picks up a little push right there. Getting ready to go through the S's, but he's got such a big lead. He could almost spin the car out right now and still win this race. The number 30 of Bryce Dickman making his way down the hill for the last time. Down through turn 10. He's going to get down to the hairpin of 11 here. He's going to come across. He can almost see the checkered flag. We see Bryce come off 11. He's going to make his way around this last left-hand corner in turn number 12. And it's going to be Bryce Dickman coming across the line, taking the win here at Sonoma. Andrew Griesbaum, now your 2nd place runner, is going to make his way around. A little bit of smoke there in front of him. Somebody, I'm not sure who that was. Looks like it might have been the 18 of Zeller. Zeller going to finish his race right there, a lap down. And here comes Griesbaum in the number 70. He's going to come home in 2nd. Jason Tamer now in the 81, going to make his way around the last corner. Also going to cross the line. And the 40 of Tyler Brewer has about, I think he might have finished there. He was behind our leader, so I think that's going to finish. I think just about everybody's crossed the line at this point. The 93 of Messler has about a half lap left on the racetrack here. Might be the last car left to finish this race. The 93 of Robert Messler, not been his day. Going to come home in 7th. Started in the 8th spot. We'll keep an eye on Robert making his way around the racetrack. In the meantime, we're going to see if anybody's jumping in for an interview here. All right, we'll take a look at my Discord here as we see the 93 going to pull down to the pit. So your winner, as the race is just getting wrapped up. Who we got left on the racetrack? It looks like 45 also pulling in here. So your winner here tonight, Sonoma, is going to be the number 30 of Bryce Dickman, Andrew Griesbaum, Jason Tamer, your top 3. See if we can get Bryce into the chat here with us.
What are my tires
Hey
at?
Bryce, are you there, buddy? This is Chris.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I stole you out of the chat there. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Hey, you know what, dude? That was just a Sunday drive for you, man. What? Give us a little bit of idea what your preparation was for this race because you were just out there all by yourself.
Um, yeah, I mean, it might have looked like a Sunday drive, but I was driving the crap out of it the whole time. There's a there's a way you do have to underdrive it here at Sonoma and in a stock car on road, but man, you just have to get the full capability out of it every single corner, or you're just gonna blow off your tires. And it worked out. I've Justin couldn't make it. He's out of town, so he normally kicks my butt here in stock cars. So I think I've learned a lot from him, just tire saving, and you end up going faster when you do that. So thanks to
Sometimes,
him, I guess.
yeah, sometimes slower is faster. Learned that a long time ago on the dry
Certainly.
slick on the dirt tracks.
Yep.
But Dave, so what's tell us the difference when these older Gen 4 cars, the difference out here at a track like this compared to the new next gen Cup cars.
Um, I don't have a whole lot of experience in the next gen. I've driven the ARCA car here, particularly at Sonoma. It's pretty similar, I'd say. It actually, yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar. You take a lot from what you learn in ARCA and the other cars and can apply it here. You kind of drive it the same everywhere. Really, really careful on throttle and get it really slowed down as much as you can. Try not to slide the tires. Try not to lock them up in the braking zone. Pretty much.
Well, this was started on the pole, just didn't look back. This was all Bryce Dickman's race. Nobody really had much of anything for you out there. You ended up winning the race by about 20 seconds here. But next week, see, where are we at next week? I was trying to pull the schedule up because I don't ever pay enough attention to remember these things. But Darlington next week. So, how you feel about your chances there? I love Darlington.
Oh, it sucks. So I love Darlington, but I'm gonna be out of town. It's my turn to be out of town next week, so I'm gonna miss that race sadly because that is one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, Darlington's just so much old school tradition there. It's just it's just so much fun to get around this, and it's the challenge of it, right? I mean, you got you can run the bottom, you can run the top, but it's just how brave are you to run the top of that racetrack up against the wall?
Yeah, exactly. It makes for really interesting strategy anyway. Yeah, I really enjoyed Darlington. I'm gonna miss it.
Well, appreciate you jumping in the booth here with us, and yeah, man. Before we let you go, do you got anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Justin and JKR, all those guys for motivating my drive to get better and all that kind of stuff. They're always helping out. And my dad, actually, I'll thank him because he got my pedals working. He helped me get my pedals working yesterday. I was having major issues. So yeah, thanks to everybody. Thank you to you and Tyler, you for broadcasting, and him for putting this league up. It's been a blast.
Well, thanks, man. Congratulations again, and hopefully we'll see you maybe Tuesday night for the Truck Series.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. You too.
All right, so that's gonna be our race winner, Bryce Dickman, just dominating this race tonight here at Sonoma. I made the mistake last Tuesday night. I didn't bring up the full results before we left, so we'll bring up the results here tonight. Well, let's bring up the full results page. How we go? So your winner, Bryce Dickman, starting on the pole, led every single lap of this race. The number 78, Andrew Griesbaum, comes home in second. It's Jason Tamer in third, Tyler Brewer fourth, Brady Zeller, Cameron Keel, Robert Messer, and Brian Faulkner. And it's all, if we look down here throughout our stats, it's all Brian Dickman. Hard charge of the race, Andrew Griesbaum up 2 spots. But Dickman with the most laps led all 40, fastest lap, and started from the pole of this race. And you know what? I got to give a little plug here real quick. If you're a fellow broadcaster out there, or you use the SDK software for any of your overlays, all these fancy graphics and stuff you see are all done by my friend Shane Cochran, who does all these plugins for SDK. If you're looking for some of this stuff, get on the SDK Discord. Find Shane on there, and he will hook you up, as he's hooked me up. He's just a fantastic job putting this stuff together. Nobody else out there is doing some of the work that he's doing for all of our overlays and graphics here on SDK, and they're just fantastic. So let's take a look here real quick one more time at next race. We said it's going to be Darlington, but your winner here one more time, Bryce Dickman in the number 30, just showed us how to dominate a race here at Sonoma, and that is going to do it for us from Sonoma. So on behalf of everyone at Digital Racing Sports Network, I want to thank you for spending your night with us. You could have done just about anything else. I would, well, maybe not. I don't know where you are, but appreciate you being here with us. We will be back Tuesday night for the Western Racing League Truck Series at Echo Park, Atlanta. So we will see you then. So until then, have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.